What is it you said?
It's the Cordon Island, I think, south of La Rochelle.
I'm looking.
If you go down the coast, you should find it.
So?
It's a bit crowded with islanders coast for
I
sure,
can't
but
find it.
if you find, let's say, Royan, you just need to go west.
Royan? Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Île de Cordon. Right in front of it. Okay.
You didn't know about it?
No, I haven't heard of it before. How was it?
Yeah, it was so nice. You must visit someday. Get your boat.
I'm so sorry, my appointment just arrived, so I'm gonna have to call you back. Okay.
Honorary.
Thank you for calling anyway. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for talking.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bonjour. On avait en English for you? Okay, I can do both. No problem. How are you today? Good. I'm doing well myself. Thank you for asking. We're having a lovely day today. Very sunny, very warm. And you might even be able to hear a couple birds around. Yeah, how lucky are we really? Okay, so you made this appointment to plan your future vacation in France, correct? That's my specialty. Perfect. Alright, I'm so sorry. Have we ever worked for you before? Is this your first time with us today? Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, as you might have gathered already, what we do is that we prepare for you custom-made holiday. Okay, we try to do something very unique and perfect just for you. Okay, and for that I need to know a bit more about your preference regarding holidays in general. So we're gonna be starting with that. Okay. Alright, so let me grab my book here. Voilà. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the basics. Could I have your name, please? Thank you. Okay. And just to be clear, so we haven't ever done this for you planning your vacation, but have you ever been in France before? Do you know specific places in France that you would like to go to again, or simply places you want to discover? Ok, alright. Donc, pareil, bon, c'est déjà vu. Et ouvert à la Provence, c'est parfait. Alright, that's great. How many of you are gonna be on this vacation, on this holiday? Is it just you, or is it like family, friends, pets even maybe? Okay. Alright, that's perfect. What else do I have? Alright, do you have a specific date planned already? Or is it depending maybe on the best budget I can get for you, or any specific local holidays? I'm just having in my mind these fêtes de la mer type of stuff in the summer in a lot of smaller towns near the sea. You often get specific celebrations during the summertime, so it's completely up to you. Recently something very fun happened. A lot of foreigners came to France for la Fête de la Musique, the music celebration, which is a whole stuff in France. Very special. But anyway, do you want to just relax, take your time and visit at your own pace? Or would you like to also have like a specific celebration? Just asking, wondering what you prefer. Okay. If you want my own personal experience of La Fête de la Musique, I think it's a tiny bit overrated, but it's very, very popular. Basically, everywhere in France for this specific day and evening, you're gonna have music and party everywhere. It's very, very special, very one of a kind. Ok, bon, une prochaine fois pour la fête de la musique. Pas de souci. That's done. Okay. For how long do you want to be visiting, and do you have a budget in mind? Usually both are correlated. Both go hand in hand, so what about these two? Ok. Bon, c'est parfait, c'est une petite semaine, on a le temps de voir beaucoup de choses. Ok, ça c'est bon. Right. Are you the kind of person who envision holiday like a week-long stay at a hotel, for example? Very low preparation, simple, just chilling at the pool kind of situation? Or maybe you'd rather have a cottage just for you, something very independent where you're able to go wherever you want and arrange your holiday as you wish? Or are you maybe a bit more in between? What about a bed and breakfast type of thing, in which you would be with a local, which could advise you on specific outings for you? Lots of possibilities here. Ok. On va se passer ça un petit sheet. Ça, j'ai plein de possibilités. Right. Ok, ça c'est bon. Right. Now we are upcoming in the warmer months of the year, and now you can choose. Would you rather go into a very hot area, maybe the south of France, or are you more into a cooler region, maybe higher, Normandy, Bretagne? You heard of them? Yeah, actually France is very diverse in the landscapes but also the climate, and that way it really depends on your preference, but I do have a range regarding the temperatures you're gonna get. So any preference? Okay. I feel like there's the three of us here, you and me and the bird. I love this one. Okay. Ça c'est bon. Right, regarding the activities, what do you want to discover? Do you want to discover anything about France? Do you want to maybe see a couple remarkable cities? Would you rather be in the seaside, in nature, and rather enjoy that? Or are you more into an educational type of activity? Right. Do you want to really relax and completely forget about the world, or even be active and do some sporty stuff? It's also possible. Or do you want to take this vacation as a way to learn and know more about the country? Ok. C'est parfait, j'ai beaucoup de possibilités là, c'est assez large. C'est trop bien. Ok, ça c'est bon. C'est pas mal ça. Destination, budget, on a vu, appel right? I'm gonna be planning a whole week for you, but if you want, I can also book a local guide wherever you're gonna go to have maybe someone help you if you need with communication, obviously, with other places, recommendations. I can also do that for you, but if you want some special help on site, that's also possible. Okay, I can quote that for you so you'll have the option and then you'll be able to choose if you want to add this or not. Ok. Ok, c'est expliqué, on verra. Okay, just bear in mind as well that I have got a special card for you, which is gonna be giving you the most needed French sentences. Okay, if you ever need them, usual stuff, very usual. Bonjour, bonsoir, comment ça va? Merci beaucoup. L'addition, s'il vous plaît. And the very famous aidez-moi, j'ai besoin d'un docteur. Very classic stuff. You'll have all these sentences ready with you. Yeah, other classique, je ne parle pas français. Okay. All of that you'll have written down. Okay. Okay. Right, so I think I'm done with the information collection part. Right, I've got all I need. This isn't needed for now. Okay. Now I've got actually 3 destinations for you to choose from. Right, these are not the most obvious ones because I'm not the one to send you to things over touristic in a way. Okay, I want you to see the unusual but amazing stuff, right? That's my priority. So we can check it together on this Tiny France. Okay, we're going to be checking together destinations that you'll be able to choose from. Okay. Let's go. Right, so we can start very simply near Bordeaux. Okay, this is southwest of France. And you're gonna be going with this one in Gironde. Okay, Gironde, département 33. And you'll be going down to Les Landes, département 40. Okay. And for this option, you'll be able to go basically at the seaside. Okay, it's a lovely, lovely area, very warm, very warm. Okay. And also there's a lot of lakes around, so you'll have obviously the ocean, but also lakes if you prefer. And this might be the warmer option of the 3. Okay, so if you're scared you might get too hot, or if you just don't like going to the beach, maybe that's not the one, but if you're not afraid of those things, that could be a good option. Okay, next option, we're gonna go in Dordogne, okay? Département 24, but also Lot 46. Okay, this is what we call the Périgord, and this is a very unique and fascinating region. Basically, if you ever heard of Lascaux Cave, that's where it is. And it's an area in France where you've got a lot of prehistoric arts in caves mostly. And if you want to educate yourself about that, if you're interested in prehistoric people all around, it's very, very interesting to visit. But that's not all there is there. To anyone going, I also advise them to go visit a specific chasm, which is what you would expect, a massive hole in the ground, but also underneath it there's a river which is always at 13 degrees Celsius, which is 55 Fahrenheit. Okay, meaning that in the summertime, where you've got, I don't know, 30 degrees Celsius, like twice as much. You always have this fresher area, which is also, just imagine the sensations of being in this river with like the reverb and the effect the sound distorted has on you with the freshness and everything and the limestone landscapes. It's something to live at least once in your life, so I highly recommend it. Okay. You might think that this is my favorite option of the three, and maybe it is, to be frank. Okay, and very last option, I will be sending you to Savoie over there. Okay, so this is east of France, and this is actually in the French Alps. You know the Alps, obviously, and they go from country to country. You know, France, Switzerland, Italy, and more. And the thing is that in this area of France, so you've got a lot of obviously amazing panorama landscapes on top of the world. And if you do not want to meet too many French people or meet anyone really, this might be the best place to really get lost in nature and hike and spend your time not thinking about society, basically. Right, so these are the three options. Right. If you want more information, I can tell you a bit more for each of them, and then you can make, how do you say, un choix éclairé, a choice with all the necessary information. Right. Okay, so we're good with that. I'm gonna go ahead and get my tourism guides for you and just read a bit of what's there to do. I'm going to show you some maps as well, just so that you can locate better what I'm mentioning, okay? Okay. Voilà. Let's start. So, this is for the very first option, okay? I mentioned Gironde, okay? This is this coast, southwest coast of France, right? So on top here you can see Arcachon, which is like a famous city to visit, but I personally think it's a bit overcrowded and I don't want to send you there. I think you'd be much better off a bit more south here in Biscarrosse. Okay? Biscarrosse is the name of the town, but there's also Biscarrosse plage, meaning beach in France. French, sorry. So yeah, that's like the two main towns I would advise you to go. It's much better just if you want to relax overall, you know, leaving the city. It's a bit nicer, and also you can see lakes here on top, underneath Biscarrosse, everywhere. These are amazing, yeah. If you're into nautical sports at all, you can pretty much do everything here. If you're into surfing, you can do this. You can do this in Biscarrosse plage as well. Okay. And once you're done with Biscarrosse, I would advise you to go south here to Mimizan, because it's a bit tinier, quieter, again more. And also there's the Étang d'Orléans right here north of Mimizan, and this is the Orléans Lake, which is one of my favorites in this area, and you can actually hike around it. It's a nice 13.5 kilometer hike, so it's about 8.3 miles, okay? So it's nice to have on a sunny day, but not too sunny, not too hot. Okay, that's it for this one. And one more thing. if you actually go to Bisque House, there's an amazing museum you've got to see, and it's the Historic Museum of Seaplanes. Have you thought of seaplanes lately? Yeah. I won't be reading you all this because it's in French, and yeah, I'm gonna be roughly translating it to you instead. But basically, what it says is that seaplanes were the most popular between the two world wars because it was a time where the tracks for planes to go down on were not concrete, all of them yet, so it wasn't quite the right material to have a smooth landing. And also, the planes were getting heavier and heavier, and the tiny wheels they've got to land were not quite able to resist the weight of them yet. Okay, so seaplanes, which basically are planes that land on the sea, were at the time the best option. Yeah. So the thing is that they were quite popular. They are not anymore because of how the industry evolved, but it's still very, very interesting to learn about them. Okay, and this museum is very interesting. You can also see specific seaplanes, in the exhibition. You can see them, and also you can learn about how they are being restored, piece by piece. So I love this one. It's very unique, and usually when people go on vacation near the sea, it's not often to learn about that kind of stuff. But if you're there, I would highly recommend you go and visit the museum. Also, good thing to mention is that you've got an audio guide in English, so you'll be able to understand. Yeah. So that's it for the very first option. Okay, so this is actually what we call the Silver Coast, this portion of the coast, and it's very popular among surfers as well. Yeah. I thought I'd mention it. Okay, second option, Périgord. Okay, so yeah, this is a lovely, lovely one, and actually when the Lascaux Cave was discovered, when was it already? I want to say the 40s, but I don't want to be wrong. C'est après. One moment, please. I'll be right back to you when I find it. Oh no, c'est pêche-mer. Oh, joli. Right. So that's right. The Lascaux Cave was actually discovered the September the 12th of 1940. Okay, and this was actually very, very big for the area because it really it's been able to drive tourism tremendously in the region, which wasn't quite big on tourism before, so it really helped the region overall. Yeah. So just to let you know a bit more about the Lascaux Cave. This is a very important one regarding prehistorical sites in Europe because of the number and the quality of the paintings that you can see there. Okay, if you've never seen them, there are basically animal paintings made by prehistoric people. Okay, we cannot quite say who were the artists. I've actually read a lot about this, and people often assume that they are men, but there's no quite evidence to support this claim, so I'd rather say people. Okay. And what's very funny about the cave is that it was discovered by 4 young people, okay, who were looking for the dog because their dog just went into a hole and wasn't going out. So they went back and try to find the dog back, and by doing so they found the cave. Okay. But there's a bit of a issue with the story of the cave, is that very quickly, within 8 years' time, I think, yeah, within 8 years' time, the cave was open to the public to be able to visit it. But very soon it started to deteriorate the artworks on the walls, basically because of CO2 and humidity. And you've got to understand that for a long period of time it was like a closed vase. Nothing was going in, nothing was going out, and the atmosphere was so stable in the cave. Okay? And when it was opened up again, it started changing the atmosphere, shifting, and there are some specific diseases which started to appear on the wall. Basically, limestone started to propagate on the wall, but also some algae, I think. So, yeah, for that reason, it was closed, and then a copy was created and was open to the public. So, yeah, it was a bit of a mishap here with Glasgow, and I think that they learned a lot from this. And for the other caves similar, which were discovered in the region, they tried to do better. Okay, so Glasgow I wouldn't recommend you visit, because there are other smaller ones which are just as interesting and maybe even more, according to me. Right. Alors, on va aller sur le coffre de Badiac. Right, so earlier I mentioned a chasm you could visit, and this one is majestic. I'm just gonna show you quickly a cut of the chasm so that you can see what I was mentioning before. So here you've got the chasm, and you can go down through elevators, right? The chasm is 100 meters deep, which is about 328 feet. Okay. And it is 35 meters wide, so about 114 feet wide. Okay. And once you go down, you can then go on this river here, which I was mentioning, which is a very cool area. Okay, remember how cool it is. It is completely different from up here, where you would be a bit hot in the summertime, and here you're not gonna be, right? And if you go all the way through this river, you're gonna go to the Grand Dome there, which is an amazing limestone, how do you say, landscape, basically naturally made, which is so jaw-dropping. It's incredible. Okay. And I know the region is mostly famous for the caves, but this chasm is a must-see on my book. Right? Now we can move on to Peshmerl, which is the actual cave I would recommend if you really want to see prehistorical paintings. Okay? This one is amazing, and fun fact, it was also discovered by teenagers. 2 14-year-old boys in 1922. So a bit before Lascaux. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to wonder where we would be as a society without teenagers, and reckless ones mostly, yeah? Okay, so I think that's it for Le Périgord. And very last option, quickly, I've got a bit less things to share with you, simply because, to me it is more about enjoying nature more than anything. So I'm just going to be showing you a quick map of the region. Alors, c'est par où? So I just want you to see this. Everything in green here is the national park and its peripheral area. And I'm gonna send you right there, okay, in Vanoise, Val d'Isère. Do you see that? That's where you'll be going. This is very nicely preserved. It's so quiet. It's amazing to just wander around and watch flowers, animals if you get the luck. It's an amazing region. And you can also see there's like a peak at 3,852 meters, which is really tall. So you'll be very much be on top of the world over there. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it any other way. Okay, so I actually had a couple notes regarding a couple of hikes you can do if you want that. Okay, so yeah, I've got a couple of itineraries of hiking over there, and yeah, if you're interested in that, I will be letting you know all of them. I actually made a tiny book note for you, and also with all the necessary maps to make sure that you do not get lost in nature. Okay. And I think that's it. These are the 3 options. What do you think? Yeah. That's interesting for you. Yeah. As I said, this is not the usual French countryside that you usually see. Okay. There's no Paris, there's no... What else is popular? Mont Saint-Michel, which is also very nice, but so overcrowded in the summertime. It's not enjoyable, actually. No, these are nice areas where you'll actually be able to relax and settle down and slow down and kind of forget about everything else. Okay? Whatever the itinerary you choose, you'll be completely and utterly taken care of and in the best premises to have the best vacation of your life. Okay? So what is it gonna be? Option 1, seaside. Option 2, caves and whatnot. And option 3, mountain and possibly hiking. Caves and whatnot. Okay. Great option. So education also interesting, really, to go there. That's a very good choice. Would you have me book the cottage right now? I actually have in mind a lovely, lovely cottage, but I know it's very popular as well. So if you're okay with it, I can make a quick call right now, make sure it's available for your dates, and pre-book it, okay, before we work on the rest of the itinerary. Okay. Yeah? Okay, great. Hello.
Bonjour, Christine à l'appareil.
Hey Christiane, ça va?
Ah, bonjour.
Oui.
Quoi de neuf?
Bon, c'est encore moi. J'ai encore un besoin de réservation pour ton gîte.
Je vois que je suis dans tes petits papiers. Tu as raison.
Là, on serait sur plutôt fin juillet.
Fin juillet? L'an prochain, je suppose.
Est-ce que t'as des dispo encore ou est-ce que c'est un peu trop tard là?
C'est vrai qu'il faut s'y prendre bien à l'avance, mais normalement, ça devrait aller, je pense.
Les dernières semaines en fait, ouais.
Je vais vérifier ça tout de suite. Oui, pas de soucis pour la dernière semaine de juillet.
Ok,
Bon.
bah dis donc, j'en ai de la chance. Ok, ça me fait trop plaisir. Bah, et tu sais quoi?
Oui, dis-moi.
Tu me le pré-book. Ok, là je vais faire un petit itinéraire aujourd'hui. Je vais tout écrire, tout préparer. Et je te reconfirme ça demain. D'accord, mais normalement, ouais, je te le prends pour cette semaine là. Ça te va?
Tu me reconfirmes demain,
Ok.
dans ce cas. Visitez votre
Merci
mère.
beaucoup. Ouais, c'est super.
Merci
Allez,
beaucoup.
à très bientôt. Au
Bonne
revoir.
journée, à bientôt.
We're lucky. The best cottage in this area is available. Okay, so I pre-booked it. How it's gonna work is that I'm gonna be writing down everything for you, okay, like a sort of quote for the whole trip, okay? Then you review it. If everything's fine with you, you sign it, and that way I'll be able to make all the reservations needed. Does that work for you? Perfect. Okay, well, it was a pleasure, okay, preparing this for you. I really hope you'll have the best time. If at any point you need anything else from me, if you want maybe restaurant reservation or any other specific location you want to go, any questions regarding how we do things in France, anything at all, I'm gonna be giving you my number and you can call, okay? And I'll be there to assist you. Alright, okay. Thank you so much and have a great day.